Problem number 4, an object is launched at 19.6 meters per second from a 58.8 meter tall platform. So this is not going to start out on the ground. So we would have a negative root. I know that my A value is negative 4.9, not just because it tells me, but because I'm working with meters. So here we go. Let's use green. It says, when does the object strike the ground? So we want to know when its height is 0, which tells me that is going to be one of the x-intercepts, so one of our roots. We want the positive one. So here we go. Our x-intercept, our intercepts, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared, using parentheses, minus 4, and then times your a value times your c value. These are like icky numbers. Be neat with your decimals and your signs, and then 2 times a. Okay, we're going to clean this up a bit. And this is 19.6. So we are going to say 19.6 squared. That gives me 384.16. Now I pause to get my sign. Come back up here. It's negative times a negative times a positive, so that's plus. I promise that will help you out. And then on the bottom I have negative 9.8. So I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to multiply 4 times 4.9 times 58.8, and we get 1,152 and 48 hundredths. Again, let's establish what the full radicand is, and then we will break it down into 2 equations. I'm adding those 2 values under the radical, and it looks like I get 1,536 and 64 hundredths. So I'm going to start out with my 1 with subtraction. It seems to be giving me my positive value each time, minus the square root of that radical 196.64. That equals negative 58.8. Divide that by negative 9.8, and we get 6. Oh yes. So this is 6. This would give us our negative. Okay. Again, we're not starting on the ground, so we would have a negative root, so we can just discard that. So when does the object strike the ground? After 6 seconds of launching. What is the maximum height, and how long does it take? So the maximum height is going to be the y part of your vertex. How long does it take is the x part of your vertex. So let's switch out colors, and let's get our vertex. X equals negative b over 2 times a. Notice that this is always the front part of your quadratic formula. And then when we calculate that, we're going to get a positive 2. Yes. So how long does it take to reach the maximum height? 2 seconds. And now let's see how high this baby gets. We're going to plug it in to our function. 19.6 times 2 plus 58.8, and we let the calculator do the work, but we input it very carefully. Okay, according to my calculator, I got 78.4, but I'm gonna just make sure just in case. Yep, 78.4, so 78.4, and this is meters. So let's draw a little picture. We started at 58.8, so somewhere up here it was launched, it went up, and it came down. And then we have this negative root here we don't care about. So this was 6, okay? And then our vertex was 2, 78.4. And then we had a y-intercept of 0, 58.8.